Hello everyone, I'm Greycloak, thank you for joining me, and welcome back to episode 64 of Factorio with the Space Exploration mod, where we are working still towards Holminite, but just got distracted by a lack of power, so I ended up the last episode trying to design a new power setup, solar power setup, where we have bots doing it all for us, and I didn't really get anywhere, but I sat down afterwards and just continued designing. And I got to this design that lags a little bit in this corner because there's cliffs there, but whatever. And I actually sort of liked that. But afterwards I also just went into an old video and found my usual build that I didn't design myself, but stole off of someone else. Mainly just to get the ratios between solar panels and accumulators. Because I think this has been calculated to be pretty accurate to what you need. So 184 solar panels to 142. And in this one, we have more accumulators. But this is a design that is meant to be overlapping the outer accumulators. So we actually only have this amount on average per setup. 187 solar panels to 169. That's still more accumulators per solar panel than this, but I'm okay with that. And I actually like this design as it's something I designed from scratch. And it's made for medium electric poles rather than substations, which we can't produce right now. So I think this is the build we'll be using here, at least until we need to use, or want to use bigger solar panels, more efficient solar panels. Because then we need a new design. Anyway, if we ever want to do that, we'll see. But for now, this is what we want. And if we put some robots in here, doesn't have to be many, and we give them some resources. Of course, there's no good place to give them. If we take a blueprint of this though, we can utilize some of this space in here to put solar panels, accumulators, some roboports, and some power poles. And yes, we need a lot more solar panels and accumulators, but at least it's possible now. And I think we'll just go and kill some biters down here. Just to give ourselves a little bit more space. So then we could... or we should be able to just let the robots expand this, just as long as we bring it more resources to build with. Which means we could utilize the other suit, or we could just put everything in here for now. Because we still have more space in this one, which means more power generation. And power is good. Do we want even more power generation? I'd rather have... actually, yes. I would rather be able to fly faster, but I don't need all of that power storage. Good. So we actually do have space for this. And if we take a new blueprint of this now... wait, this is not correct. I need to overlap. Wait, it is correct. It's the middle ones. As you can see, I'm not used to using this blueprint yet. But we just need to complete that corner before we actually take the blueprint of it. So let's do that. Put that in there, replace that one. Good. And those 50 robots will just do all the work for us now. Good. So, before we were doing that. Oh yeah, I also just added a little bit of accumulator production here, because, well, we needed more. But we've finished up making sulfuric acid and plastic, which was part of what we needed for this. So now we can make the anion-ion exchange beads. Which I guess we should just do nearby here, or maybe close to this belt or something. But I think... Oh, we talked about doing our production stuff over here, because we have a lot of expandability then. Rather than into these cliffs. But down here could also work. And we would be close to the Holminite. I forgot about we picked this area for mining. That needs to be crushed. Actually, we don't need to make this decision yet. If we just want to go on with this part first, at least. Always push the decisions you don't want to make. I do have pulverizers. Then how come we didn't... Oh, I had talked about actually bringing it in the raw form instead of crushing it. So I do have to take this decision now, actually. What if we just run this belt up here and then build in this general area? Sounds good. And we bring it uncrushed, just to not use any of our building space with a random setup here that we will then have problems with later. We will soon, it seems, need meteor defense here, because we keep getting hit by these big rocks. Oh yeah, I also needed built, but I think I grabbed all I needed. And we just needed 20 per second of this. We have almost enough for 30 per second. So 2 belts. I think we're just gonna run it through a balancer and pull 2 belts from there then. Good. I just want to run it up there. And we're out of belt again. Did I use all of it? Do we need to start production of more? No belt, no belt, no belt. We need belt production. Could just do robot mall stuff. But for now... can do this. And that goes into another machine. Making belt. Good. That's all keeping up. We're lacking motors or engines, but that's fine. Good. And since we need it right now, let's scale it up quite a lot. And then we're going to use all of that iron for this, I guess, but so's the life, I guess. It's fine. Should we just crush this over here or pulverize it? Because that's also part of our building area then. We don't need a lot of crushing. It would be difficult to expand it if we did this, but again, we're just doing an initial setup. It doesn't have to be perfect, even though I want it to be. So let's do this. We need to balance this. And we actually don't need any more belt then, for now. But again, we're basically making a new bus up here. Good. Why do I keep closing this? We get less than a full belt, so everything here can be put onto the same belt if we want to. And then split at the end. That always just sounds so easy, so let's do that. Of course it needs to be balanced. Is it okay to do that after one or after two machines? Or do we have to balance the middle machine? I guess we should do this. And then we filter out stone to the right for some reason. I don't really have a reason, I'm just going to do that. And then this part is done. Oh, this gives us sand. Okay. Why are we not utilizing this sand up here then? It's just to get rid of a little bit of the stone. Because here we do utilize it. What? If we do this, we're outputting 2 sand and 2.2 stone. If we're not doing this, we're outputting 1 sand and 2.5 stone. So first of all, we don't need it. I guess it will be either converted to landfill or exported in some form. But for now we need to store it, I think. Do we want to put it into a cannon? Oh, I didn't bring any cannons, so we can't really. I think for now we shouldn't get a lot of this, so why don't we just do this? think for now we're just doing that. How much per second were we getting? Actually 2.5, that's more than this can handle. Let's do fast inserter. And let's give it a little bit more space to work with, I guess. As there's a little bit more storage space on a belt than in the splitter, I think. Who knows? It should be fine now. So maybe that needs to go on the same bus, maybe not. And this now comes up here. Why do we have cliffs there? That's annoying. Why haven't I made cliff explosives yet? Those are normal explosives. Cliff explosives. We could easily make those. Back on Norvis at least. Oh well. What do we need to do? We need to mix all of this. We need the plastic in on this bus as well then. Can we get this under here? Yes. Need belt. Lots of belt. Good. I think we will disable these then. Should we bring iron, steel, copper, and other things to this bus as well? I guess we'll do that if we need it at some point. It would be easier if we want to produce a bunch of production facilities, but for now, we're not. I was doing plastic. I already forgot again. Good, plastic is here. Cyanide is here. We need to bring sulfuric acid and water for steam. Water is right here. So now we have to figure out how much we want this to be scalable. Do we plan to have belts all the way up here and then have our fluid bus on top of that? Maybe we just put the fluids down here, plan for up to 4 types of those, because our yellow belt can go under that. Not that we really need it to, but it's still nice. I think that's good, because we know that we won't need more fluids than this. At least I'm pretty sure of that. And I don't know how many belts I'll need. So water there. Then get sulfuric acid. I think I put that to the right instead of down. And I did. Along with petroleum for some reason. Oh, right, we're getting petroleum from here, never mind. So yes, petroleum comes there, and then we added sulfuric acid. We are just going to run that down along this as well. And of course, I decided to put power poles there. Can we fit this in here? We can. Good. Put that down there instead. Empty. And put sulfuric acid here. 10 machines. Couldn't we actually fit this in here? We can. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure why I'm trying to save this space, but I'm still going to try, I think. This doesn't utilize this though, so we don't have to do it there. We need this, sulfuric acid and water. So we can still do it right here. We need 2 fluids in, so we need at least 1 space between all of these though. That still fits right. Barely. Not sure why I want this to fit here. We also need to make steam for it, which could be done over here, I guess. Okay, we'll just do it, because we've started. These. I think we'll have inputs here, outputs there, and then just fluids on this side. And we made a boiler, right? Yes, good. Okay. And we're out of power again. Did we even connect this? We did, okay. So we're just consuming too much. I don't think we have what it takes to make more solar panels here, do we? We have copper, we have steel, we can make glass. And we can make electronic circuits, I guess. This makes how much per second? 100. 3 times per second, okay. So never mind that. We need an input and output. How fast is this? 10 seconds, so no problems with throughput. We need that, and we need a blueprint of all of this. And I'm out of underground pipe. Do we have more? Yes, a little bit. We are starting to more and more and really just need a mall here. And this was supposed to be fluid bus. But right now we just want this to work, I guess. Good. Actually, this probably doesn't need to go very far. Because it's just supposed to be mixed with this, right? And water, yes. So it says here we need 20 per second, but we get 10 of that back, and that's why we only need to produce 10 here per second. Good. Just sanity checking myself. Same with these. We're trying to make 10 per second, so we actually need to balance this belt here. Five machines outputting onto one belt. I guess that's 6 machines, but that's fine. Okay. Those two go in, and we actually do need more capacity on their belts than one belt can carry. That could just mean that we should do 14 machines in one setup, and the output of that go into another 6 to 8 machines. How does that make sense, though? If we put the 10 we have per second into half of these, so 10 machines, you would only get 5 out. But then that could be routed into the same build, and then we would need 5 more machines, and so on and so forth. Oh, it's because when I did that math with 14 first, then 8, I didn't calculate the output of the last 8. That needs to go back into the first 14, I guess. Somehow we need to handle the output at least. I think we will split it in two just because one belt can't carry all of it. Unless we take the output and just only feed to some of the machines and then have this output only feed to some of the machines. In any case, I think we need a little bit more space. We want to do this. So water in. Guess we will want power at the sides. How long does this take? 1 second. 2 things in of 2 different types. Don't we need more space then? Because we can't have both of those inputs on one belt. Could just do this. Sounds good. I'm not going to make anything too complicated here. The output of that. So I was talking about feeding it into part of the machinery. So if we did this and just made, I would probably need to make a little bit more than 20, but then only fed this to 2/3 of the way and took 1/3 from this, coming all the way around, then it should work. It would not need to be 1/3 only though, it would need to be half of it. Because all of them combined produce half of what we need as input. So something like that scaled. And then we realize we need more space. Because this is only 8, we need 20. Robots can do this, right? Yeah, they're nice and fast. Good. I think I like this idea. And it should mean we just need 10 getting from the primary input, which we have here. And then another 10 getting from secondary input, which is the output of the machines. And how are we going to do that? We don't get 2 full belts, so we could do it with splitters. Until halfway down, we can at least have everything on one belt. That's only 10 per second combined. 5 of each. Oh wait, we have 2 more outputs here. Did we have filter? They can only take 1 filter, is that correct? Yes. Good thing we have a lot of space here. Oh dear. If we made these filters for the 2 secondary inputs, then we could have long-headed inserters feeding another belt with output. But then there's no guarantee that that won't pick some of these things we want to put back in. Right? And there's no long-handed filter inserters, I don't think. And there's just no filter on these, right? No. I think that's something they're adding in the Space Age expansion. Or 2.0. So we don't have to have filter inserters for anything. We can just use normal inserters for everything. With filters. Did we ever make filter loaders? With a bit of steel we can make 1. I just want to figure out if we can filter more things in these, but you probably can't. Let's just grab a bit of steel and see. You can actually. So if we did these, we could put those on one belt and then have another one outputting the other two. But then we would have to use mergers or splitters a lot. It can't be true, I can't figure this out. We can do it with inserters. It should be easy even. At least for this first part, when we need to worry about balancing and splitting the belts, then maybe not. So, we can do all of that with filter inserters. Again, how fast was this? Once per second? I feel like my math is bad with inputs versus output that needs to go back in. We feed 10 machines with 10 of each. Then they feed some of another 10 that then... Yeah, it is correct, it's just that it has to it has to warm up before it's all functioning, I guess. Because the machines that are fed by the output from these will then also feed itself until everything eventually works, hopefully. Good. We need green circuits. Do we have any of those available? No, no, no. No. I am going to make some robot stuff here, just because I don't want to have to bootstrap a lot of this. But I'll just bootstrap this robot build, I guess, instead. This requires... Well, let's do several of those first. Because I think that matches up with one of these. But then we need... This makes 4 per second. This requires 6 per second. So we need 6 of these, I guess. And then we need storage. And resources. We don't need iron for this part. But we do need copper. Go home, robots. Good, then we need brick. We're not mining... Wait, I'm making brick up here in a very crude setup. And let's just do more of that, I guess. Good. And so far the robots can keep up, so that's good at least. Inserters can't keep up though. Good. More filter inserters. Wait, but again, these can only do one. No, wait, they can't. It's stack filter inserters that can only do one. Oh, because they have a stack in their hand, probably. Okay. So you will output that and this. You will output... Wait, that's not true. Not that. But crushed? Yes. You will do this and sand. Same, same. Didn't I have a lot of chemical plants at some point? Why am I out of those? I don't know. But I probably just wanted the extra space in my inventory. Lots and lots of green circuits. Good. That's actually way too much for my needs, but it's fine. We'll figure out what to do with this balancing in a bit. Wait. So this part is in total less than one build. It's even less than half a build. So we don't ever really need to balance that. This part needs to be balanced and split. Wouldn't this have been better? Would it even make a difference? It would if we were doing this at least. This is only filtering though, it's not balancing. But we could take a bit of space here to balance, I guess. Is this possible to... Let's try and keep it somewhat symmetrical. It's symmetrical in footprint at least. And we can still go under there. So all of the output from these just goes onto one side, and it's already split. And let's do whatever really. These to the left. This is getting a lot more complicated than I wanted it to be honest. I should have just done several setups so we only needed one build of input everywhere. But that's just how it is. As long as this works, I'm okay with it. Now we still need the second half of this. Which should just be a copy-paste of this. And then getting their ingredient from down here. I think this will work, but I probably forgot some stuff. We'll see. So for the inputs, one is this, and then we don't need this to go any further after that. Whoops. Good, we are outputting. We could also just have all of these input into themselves, actually. Now I'm curious, wouldn't that have been a lot simpler? I guess a problem with that is that the first machines would be prioritizing, or 50-50 prioritizing, taking from here and their own output. But as they're outputting less than they get in, isn't that okay? What am I doing? So now its outputs that needs to go back in will be put back in. Would we still then need a filter inserter to output this stuff? Probably. It would take up a little bit more space. But it would be a lot simpler. But hey, if this works, what we're currently doing, we will go with that. I just want to see it run for a bit. So let's hook it up to there. So, because this build has been full, everything is backed up. But now we should consume all of this. And all of this will, I guess. Still think this should have been a little bit longer. Because again, this should never be able to hit its maximum production. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it's working. And it would probably even be working great if we just extended it a little bit. And these wouldn't be in the same power range, so we would need more power poles for this. I'm just getting a little bit concerned, I guess, with this. Oh, we don't have enough filter inserters to finish this either. But it is actually working. These would come from in there, I think, as filters. So yes, this is one tile wider. But at least it's simple and working. Sand. That's all we need to do, and then we could have 20 of these in a row, and they would all be working. But all 20 of these are working, so I'm not gonna worry. I'm just gonna leave that there, though, in case we figure out there is a problem with these in the long run. Let's get rid of that. Let's split this. Sand to the right. Good. So this part is done. And we can get on to centrifuging with copper cable. So we need copper here. Okay, good to know. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for in this episode. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.